On February 7, 2016, Super Bowl Sunday, Gregory Catholic Sr. began to feel ill.
So it started on Super Bowl Sunday. We actually were at a get-together with some friends. We went on a terrace to smoke a cigarette with one of my other friends. And it was pretty chilly outside. 10 minutes turned into 15 minutes to 30 minutes, and he didn't have a jacket on. So the next day, he called me and he said, you know, Hope, I'm going to leave work early because I'm not really feeling well. I think because I didn't have my jacket on, I might have caught a cold. When he came home, he actually asked me for medicine, and he never took cough medicine. It was always orange juice, sleep, and I'll be better. All throughout the night, he actually was coughing really, really bad, and he kept saying, babe, I'm so sorry. I know you got to work early in the morning, and I keep waking you up. And I'm like, why are you apologizing and you're sick? So the next day, I left for work. I kissed him goodbye. I told him to call me at work if he wasn't feeling better, and we would go to the emergency room. When I called him on my break, he said he was feeling better. He had drank some tea, tried to eat.
When I came in Monday, Nutt was coughing. I said to him, this don't sound good. I said, you need to go home. He said, all right. He said, I was out Sunday. I ran to the car with no coat on, and I've been coughing ever since. I said, well, you know, you're getting old. You can't do that, man. And he was like, yeah, I know. But he kept coughing as we was talking. So he left the shop. He went home. I speak to him twice on Tuesday.
I got a phone call literally as I'm walking out the door from work, and he said, babe, my body just doesn't feel right. We have to go to the doctor. But he still was kind of downplaying it a little bit. We ended up going to urgent care, and there was an issue, you know, with his insurance. So we ended up leaving the urgent care and going to the emergency room. His blood pressure was a little high. They gave him some medication for that. His heart was racing. He just felt very uncomfortable. He was having trouble breathing. So they were doing several procedures to try and help him breathe better. So they brought a mask over, and because he has like claustrophobia, the mask was so tight on his face that it was very uncomfortable, so he kept taking the mask off. He ended up having to use the restroom. In the process of him taking the mask off to go to the restroom, he passed out on the way back. And when he passed out, he went into respiratory failure. So they did CPR for over an hour and a half. I actually was going to register him and give him all of his information. When I came back, I saw them doing CPR. That's when I knew that it was more serious than we had anticipated. So I literally, you know, called every person that I could think of. They all was able to make it to the hospital within like a half an hour's time.
I get a call from Hope. She was saying that Nutt was in the hospital, and she said it don't look good. So, you know, I was thinking like, what do you mean don't look good? He just had a cough.
Got a call from Hope. She said that something was wrong with Nutt and that she had to take him to the emergency room. I went to Irwin's house, picked up Irwin.
Tuesday nights is guys' nights. They used to go out together, and then the ladies used to go out together. And I was calling Hope to come and meet us, and she didn't answer. On the way home, I received a phone call. She was hysterical. She was like, they're trying to resuscitate him. I was like, what? I called Rich. I said, meet me at the hospital now. I said, Hope just called me, and she said that she doesn't think that Nutt is going to make it. That probably was one of the hardest phone calls that I've ever had to make.
I remember looking over to my left and just seeing the doctors performing CPR, you know, pumping on his chest, giving him oxygen. I was watching this one nurse in particular. She was working on Nutt so hard she was sweating.
When I got there, Hope was inconsolable.
I got a phone call from Rich. He's like, you gotta come. We're down in Montefiore on Gun Hill Road. Nutt's here, but it's not looking good. I'm like, what do you mean it's not looking good?
Gregory Catholic Sr. was 44 years old when he died suddenly from the influenza virus and pneumonia. He had symptoms of a common cold.
They brought us all together to announce that they had to pronounce him dead at 9:20. We had arrived at the hospital around 5:30, so within 4 hours of you thinking that you're gonna walk in and just, you know, get some medicine or everything is gonna be okay, he was no longer with us. So the cause of death, when they did pull us all into the room together, was that he had died from pneumonia and the flu.
I already knew he was gone, but to hear it was another thing. I broke down and I lost it right there.
It took us all inside this room. There wasn't a dry eye in that room.
Rich calls me again, and he was like, I don't want to tell you why you're driving. And I'm like, just tell me. Nutt didn't make it. And when I walked in the emergency room, I'm still in denial. And there was a room to my right, and they said, he's in there. I knew then, when I opened the door and saw him laying there. I ran out of the hospital. I don't know where I went. I was just roaming around. No, this isn't happening. Not him. Why? All these questions that you ask yourself when you lose someone close, a loved one.
The moment I really broke down was when his son walked in. His son had to see his dad laying there.
When I first heard that he was gone, I kind of just blacked out. Like, I didn't know how to feel about it until I realized that I had to be strong for my mom and my brother.
The Sunday before he passed away, we took a bowl together, playing blackjack and laughing. Couldn't believe that 2 days later, he wouldn't be here anymore. And that was very, very important to me. Like, I miss him to this day. So it's really hard to talk about it. He died so young. He was a good person. And they say the good die young, though. He definitely was a good person.
I think that the hardest part is not having closure. Not knowing that this was getting ready to come.
When I found out that Peanut had passed away, I didn't believe it. I thought someone was playing a really, a messed up joke, cruel joke, or, just misprint. Not my Peanut.
I found out that Nutt passed off of social media, so I called up one of my friends, and she confirmed Nutt had passed. And I just started thinking about all the good times that we had. It was just a reflective moment. I was at the house. My wife was gone that day, and my daughters were at school. I just started crying.
I went to go check Facebook, and the first post that I seen was Hope's, his fiance. Got a message from Erwin that let me know, and I think coming from Erwin was that was my breaking point, literally, for pretty much the whole day. I shut down. My phone was off. Still hurts to know that, physically he's not here with us anymore.
I was putting my 10-year-old son to bed, and we were saying gratitudes, which we do every night, and we were saying our prayers, and literally we finished saying prayers. I tuck him in, I come down the steps of my house, I walk into the kitchen. My husband is staring at me and grabs me by both of my arms, and he can't breathe. And I just said, "What happened?" He said, "I have something to tell you." And I said, "What? What?" And he just couldn't speak. It never occurred to me what he was about to say was, "Your brother died."
The homegoing service.
I don't think White Plains ever seen a funeral so big. The mayor had sent down a police escort. They put the flag down halfway in the projects here. It kind of rocked the city. We didn't see this coming, so it was kind of hard to process, I think, for the whole city. Greenburgh, White Plains, Bronx, Manhattan, everybody was there.
The homegoing service at the church was incredible. I knew that there was going to be a large outcome, but the amount of people that were still outside and didn't even get to get in is just like, wow.
When I came and arrived in the limos, the line just to view the body was down the block and around the corner. And that day, it was about 19 degrees outside. So to see all the love of people just waiting just to say their goodbyes, it was indescribable and amazing. I definitely didn't think it was going to be that many people.
I actually had a conversation with Erwin a couple of days prior to it and was asking him, do y'all think Calvary is going to be big enough? Because I honestly felt like it was going to be that many people. That he meant a lot to a lot of people. So I wasn't surprised, not one bit, about how many people came.
I was surprised that that many people showed up. I mean, I knew he knew a lot of people, but I didn't think that so many people would be there. It was amazing to see all those people come out and show love and support.
Day of the funeral, when we all went there as a group, as a family, I just could not handle it. It hurt me to the core of who I am as a man. I needed to be consoled and helped away from the casket. See someone that you love in a casket, a young man in a casket, someone you brought up, that you took under your wing. There was so many people everywhere, so much love.
I think I cried the entire time I was in there. I couldn't really tell you what was going on because I was just lost at that time, just thinking about the loss.
Through such shock and despair and sadness, the way people showed up was so touching and graceful. It just reminded me and reconnected me to there is a God and there's something bigger than us that binds us all. Seeing how not just my nephew and Ethel and Hope and Ayana and his friends showed up, but the broader community, like they really, really, really showed up. His funeral in some ways is somewhat of a blur, but in other ways on a kind of macro, emotional, spiritual level still is with me. Seeing the droves of people lined up outside of that church to come through, and the people that waited to get through that entire line for his viewing and to touch us, his family, like literally put their hands on us in this time, was beyond overwhelming. I still wanted him here, but knowing that that was his legacy, it helps it sit with me a little better every day, for sure.
The repast.
The reception was great. I think, my dad was there to see that. He would have loved it. I think it's exactly how he would want it to be. I don't think he would want it to be where people, are, down or sad. It was more of a celebration of his life.
So many people came out and just offered to help. He was a person that everybody loved, and that was so comforting to see. This is what he lived for. He loved promoting parties. He loved being at parties. He loved the music. So we definitely want to embrace that and celebrate his life.
Everywhere we went, we had a blast. He lived his life to the fullest. Like I told D-Life, he said, we gonna play jazz and elevator music.
I tried.
And I said, absolutely not. Nutt will want to turn up.
Why not? Why please? We gonna ride up with Nutt the Barber.
He was right there watching all of us have fun and celebrate his name in a great way. He definitely would feel appreciated and he would feel loved.
For me, the repast was a healing, because I think if Nutt was alive to actually see what we did for him, he would have been speechless.
The repast was a party. Nutt would have loved the party. Rich wasn't able.
I know he would have, but it was hard. Like I said, he was a really close friend. To connect my brother, so it was tough. It's hard to lose a brother.
Who was Gregory Catholic Sr.?
My dad had 4 boys and 4 girls, and Gregory and I were the youngest. He was inherently like my father. He looked exactly like him. In terms of his facial features, his body, his build, even his hands. They had the same sense of humor. I really think Gregory was the perfect mix of his mother and his father. Ethel was like the life of the party, and our dad was a cool, funny character, but definitely more reserved. Gregory just had both of that. Like, he was the life of the party when it was appropriate, and he was calm and cool when it was appropriate. And he was like the quintessential mix of his mother and his father.
Do you view and treat parenting as a blessing or a chore? Are your examples positive or negative? How will your child remember you?
He was just the proudest, most hands-on father I had ever seen, and so unlike our father.
My relationship with my father is something special. We had a connection that I'm not going to have with anybody else. He was very active in my life. He was there for every important event in my life. I could come to him for any reason, and he was always there to listen to me, lay down a foundation for me, instilled so much into me. Loyalty, respect, humbleness, leadership, treat people like how you would want to be treated. Sometimes he'll pick me up from work and we can just talk that whole car ride. And it's that connection that I'm not going to have anymore.
Gregory was my dad. We had a lot of conversations about me having thicker skin and learning to brush off things that shouldn't bother me or faze me. We also talked about boys and just how I should act when it comes time to react to that. So going out to eat with him or to go see movies, go see my brother's baseball games, or just hang out in the house, and it was never a dull moment. It's just so weird not to hear him come in the door and talk about all the crazy stories and how our days have went.
Becoming Nutt Barber.
Nutt came in the shop in 2004, and I could see that he wasn't confident in his skill. He didn't really cut hair that good, but I liked his personality, his character, and I saw that was special. I said I could make him a barber, but personality and character is everything. He really knew how to cut that good, but he learned. I told him, I said, if you stick with me, I'll make you a star. And to be honest, God made him a star, and he became Nutt the Barber. He counseled customers, even barbers, for many years, from young to old. Sports was his big thing. He was a sport analyst. He knew all the stats. We cut hair, we talk, we laugh, we joke. We used to play this game called Fight Night. Fight Night is a boxing game, and we started in 2004. We used to play this game every day. We had these belts, light heavyweight, and lightweight champion belts. And we fought for these belts. We defended these belts. And the only one that could beat me would be Nutt in the whole community. So people would come in off the street and try to fight me. And I didn't lose till Nutt came into the shop. And then Nutt beat me, and it was like a big celebration because I would be bragging all the time about how I'm the best fighter, whoever did it. All the belts went with him. We put him in the casket. He was a true champion. And we don't even play it no more.
Blueprint Entertainment Party Promotion.
I know Nutt all my life. We grew up on the same street, White Plains. We became really good friends maybe 20 years ago. I was 20. I decided to do a party promotion type thing. I was like, I'm with you, let's do it. We just started doing parties for the next probably 8-9 years together, up until the time that he passed away.
So I came into the picture right around the time that Rich and Nutt started Blueprint Entertainment. So a lot of our dates were at Blueprint Entertainment parties. We all had a natural connection. That's where I met Hope. And then we just all became inseparable. Blueprint became our life. Family.
The word beloved is seen on most tombstones. In order to be loved, you must first give love. How many people have actually earned that title in life in order to accurately be awarded that designation in death?
We were 5 years apart, best friends. We could talk to each other about anything, and he would always help me work through a problem, come up with a rational answer, or just tell me to get over it and check myself really, really quick. When our father died, I was 25. He filled a void that I was so desperately afraid of living without.
He was my brother, he was my friend, somebody I trust, with everything. I trust him with everything. I don't even know another person I could trust that way right now to this day. I thank God for the time that I had with him because he was a blessing.
He was my barber. He always made sure that I had the fresh bald head. Somebody that I just used to talk to and confide in. I don't use the word friend that easy, but definitely somebody who I would consider my friend, my brother.
Nutt became one of our best friends, someone that we relied on, a confidant, just a natural staple. He was there for all of our family functions.
Kids' parties, my 40th birthday, my wedding.
He was the groomsman in our wedding. I can't ever remember him missing anything. Never. Like, he was always there. So.
The moments we take for granted will one day be cherished memories that make us smile.
We wasn't allowed to eat in the living room, but we used to eat a lot of peanut butter and jelly. So Nutt was told by Mom Ethel not to make peanut butter and jelly. We sit in the living room, he had the peanut butter and jelly, and the key comes through the door. I ran to the bathroom. He didn't know what to do. And he ended up throwing the peanut butter and jelly sandwich behind the couch.
When we were living together, you wouldn't see him without me. On the weekends, Aunt Ethel, she wanted nothing but peace and quiet, time for her friends. But me and Nutt would be in and out of the house, in and out of the house. We were running in and out of the house one particular night. We came in and she had the chain on the door. We actually had to go to the bathroom. And she was like, why are you guys back in here? We gotta go to the bathroom. And she was like, pee in the stairwell. We were like, pee in the stairwell. She was like, yeah, everybody else does it, so we peed in the stairwell.
We were in high school together. We used to just hang out and have fun. They used to have talent shows at the high school. So Greg and myself and Tom and Jamal, we did Slick Rick the Ruler. We were lip syncing in the show. So we were coming up with the dance moves, and we used to come to my mother's house to practice our routines. We always thought we were the best dancers, but we used to have a good time. And I think we came in second place.
I met him at a dance through a mutual friend. He seemed very, very fun. A gentleman, charming.
We went to a Guardians dinner. It's a dinner they have every year. We had suits on, we had bow ties. We were fresh, we were sharp. And we had no dates, we were just meeting him. Our mutual friend, Milton Johnson, he was getting an award. He says, yeah, I go to the barber shop and I sit with my friends there, Irwin, Gilliam, and his partner, Gregory Catholic. Partner, means something else, So we were looking like, okay, did he just say we were gay? So everybody in the place looking at us like we gay. So I'm like, okay, now I'm uncomfortable, because the place is packed and they're looking at me and Nutt like we're gay. And we both got bow ties on, new suits and stuff. So I started feeling away. So Nutt says to me, y'all gonna go to the bathroom. I said, no, don't tell me where you're going. Just go to the bathroom. Don't tell me nothing. And I felt like everybody was looking at me like I was gay. And listen, I'm not knocking nobody for what you do or how you do it, but I'm not gay. And it was funny because we was laughing at the whole time because people were looking at us, but they was whispering and stuff. And they was like, oh, it's okay. It's a new day. It's all right. But we're not gay.
I remember leaving my sister's funeral, Lorianne, who had died very similarly to Gregory very suddenly in her 40s. We left her funeral. We laughed all afternoon thinking about the good times in our family and the good times that we had together.
Came to the barbershop one day. I said, all right, guys, I want to cut my hair. Paul, get out of here. We're not trying to hear. You're not trying to cut your hair. I said, I'm dead serious. And most of the time, I was playing around, struggling, going through my own trials and tribulations, trying to find work. I could literally take one of my dreads, take a scissors right in front of everybody, and cut one off. Barbershop was stopped. And I said, I got you next. And I ain't gonna front. Like, a little part of me had a little tear coming up. I said, oh my God, what am I doing? More ironically, as he was cutting my hair, my phone started ringing. And with job opportunities. Yeah, it's here, B. Live from the Dutch Grasshopper right now. You see where I'm at right now? I'm in the barbershop right now. And today's the day it's going down, folks. Yeah, it's coming off, man. Oh, you see my hair? It's done, folks. It's over, man. Brand new, yeah? Look at this guy. I did it, man. I did it. Wow. Amazing. Wow.
On June 2nd, 2016, just 4 short months after the sudden passing of her only son, Ethel Catholic died after a long illness. Many that knew her believe she passed of a broken heart.
The relationship that Ethel and Gregory had was very, very, very unique, very close. He instilled a lot of good values in Gregory, and you saw that as he grew up to be a young man. She supported everything that he did. She was very proud of her son, and she loved Gregory to death.
Ethel was like a mother to me. Her death was because of Nutt's death. They were so close.
I just had a funny feeling that maybe she's gonna go like right after him. I don't think she wanna be here no more. That was her baby. That's her only child. I just couldn't see her being here without him. It sounds crazy, but I wasn't surprised.
And that bond was just inextricably there and apparent, and you could feel it in their presence. In the days and weeks that followed my brother's passing, she was still funny, she was still telling jokes, she was still cutting up, and it made us all feel good to kind of see her in that element. But somewhere we just knew it was too much. That is too much loss. No mother should have to bury their child. In a weird way, we all knew that our heart was too broken. It was almost a sense of relief that she was with him, because I couldn't bear to think about what her life was going to be like here without him.
What do you miss most about Nutt?
What I miss most about my father is our talks. Just miss going to his house, just miss talking to him. I miss everything that I'm not going to be able to do.
I think I miss our conversations and just being able to talk to him when I felt like I couldn't talk to anybody else.
I think one of the things I missed most about Nutt is just him. When I got into ministry and when I started pastoring, when you get into that stage in life, some people, they kind of separate themselves from you. There was never any judgment, and he always had words of encouragement. So you just keep doing what you're doing, and I always kept that at heart.
What I miss most about Nutt, his sense of humor. The guy was hilarious, made a lot of sense. You know, just sitting down, chopping it up with him.
What I miss the most is having someone that grounded to talk to about everyday issues, whether they be little or big.
There's no way you can walk in that barbershop and not look for Nutt. Even to this day, you still look for him. Then you realize, no, he's not here.
The message: loved ones who depart this life remain with us always through our memories and their impact.
He's still watching over me, so I know that I'm in good hands.
Nutt is my guardian angel, because believe it or not, I've always been his guardian because of our size difference. So now it's like vice versa, he's looking over me now.
I would just ask him to keep watching over my husband because I know that he's with him.
August 31st, 2016. I woke up that morning, made my coffee, took my 2 horrible dogs out to go to the bathroom, put them back in the house, sat on my patio, and I just bawled. At some point, I was on the patio ground, snotty, no tissue, couldn't even get myself up to go get a tissue. And I just kept saying, God, what will you have me know? What will you have me know right now? The immediate answer I got was, because he's here with you. And I just felt his presence.
What will your legacy be?
He loved everybody. He never stayed mad at anybody.
He was loyal. He had a heart that was just made of gold. He gave everything 100%. Whatever he did, he gave it 100%.
Compassionate, friendly, loving, caring. A people person.
He's always been one that had a great personality, very genuine person you can always depend on, have honesty with. We just enjoyed laughing.
Nutt was the type of kid that was always friendly, give you his last, always looked out for people. This is a great individual.
We didn't know anybody that didn't like Nutt, that didn't love Nutt, who Nutt didn't put a smile on their face. If you were happy, he was happy. That whole, if you like it, I love it type of attitude. If you said you didn't like that brother, there was probably something wrong with you, to be perfectly honest.
If you could say one last thing to Nutt.
I definitely would say, I love you, I miss you. I wish that you were still here, but everything happens for a reason, and I know that you're in a better place.
If I could say anything to him right now, would just simply be something that most men always find hard to say to each other, which is, I love you. I love you, bro, and I miss you. You certainly left here way too soon.
I miss partying with you, hanging with you, and talking about our childhood.
I know I'm going to make mistakes. And I know you are the one person on earth that won't judge me for them. But I'm going to make an effort to not make decisions that will dishonor who I am.
Thank you for being a big brother, for being that guy I can call on whenever.
I don't want you to think that the hours of talking went in vain, because they didn't. Rich has grown and is a better man, and a better man to me because of those talks. And thank you.
I told him I love him every day. So it was no shame in me telling him that I love him. So that's something that we said on a regular basis, so he knew how I felt about him. I just wish that he got to the doctors earlier, because I miss him.
I miss you, and I hope you're really proud of me, and I'm trying to show you that you've made me a better person.
If I could say one last thing to my father, it would probably be that I'm gonna make you proud. You know, you don't have to worry about me not becoming the man that you want me to be. You know, I'm gonna do it.
The impression you leave upon others will last a lifetime. Whether that impression is positive or negative is entirely up to you. Go out of your way to touch others' lives by giving generously of yourself. Extend a handshake, bestow a smile, speak a simple hello, offer kind remarks, impart wisdom and sound advice, provide encouraging thoughts whenever presented with the opportunity. Turn off the music, the television, the phones. Spend quality time with your children, significant other, family, friends, the youth, the elderly, a neighbor or a coworker, even a stranger. For your connections with others will determine how you will be remembered, and the manner in which you live your life dictates if your memory will live on long after you pass. Remember, we are all only human, but always do and be your very best. Life is your greatest blessing and is meant to be lived to the fullest. Your life is your legacy. Let Gregory Catholic Sr., fondly known to many as Nutt Barber, be your example, for his life is his legacy.
And I can't even imagine the amount of lives changed from this one man. People crying, yeah, for the loss, but smiling at the same damn time. If anybody can make you do that, this would be the guy. But I wanna say we miss you. The whole city wanna say we miss you. And the family wanna say we miss you. Can you say it one more time so my brother can hear y'all? Say that we miss you. Say it one more time. We miss you. Say it one more time. We miss you. Oh, oh. We miss you. I want everybody to say his name so he can hear y'all, alright? Follow me. Say Nutt the Barber. Say Nutt the Barber. Say Nutt the Barber. Say Nutt the Barber.